Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem Ramsey. Today, I won't be here with my co-host, um, JJ. He'll join us later on if he can, but right now, it'll just be me, uh, giving you guys the breakdown of news and rumors and NXT Great American Bash. I didn't catch AEW yesterday. I'll probably catch it later on today. Didn't feel up to it, but let's get into it. So NXT Great American Bash, pretty good pay-per-view so far. This is one part of a two-part pay-per-view. The other half will be aired next week on Wednesday. But there is some major news and rumors that I want to get into. So I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time. This is a spoiler alert. A spoiler alert. If you guys don't want to know anything, if you guys don't want to know any major news concerning NXT next week, just tune out right now. Let you guys know if you guys are catching a replay. You guys are hopping on. I'm letting you guys know right now. This is a major spoiler alert. Going into some news and rumors. And I want to let you guys know this is a major reveal of what's going to happen next week. All right. I was very excited about this news when I found out. Most of you guys who go online and you guys check out wrestling news articles and go to different websites, you guys already know pretty much what I'm about to reveal, and it's pretty crazy for the most part. And it's actually like footage up of this reveal. So this is a major spoiler alert. I'm telling you guys ahead of time. I'm letting you guys know right now that this is a major spoiler alert. So if you guys are tuning in, you guys are checking me out, maybe for the first time, second time, third time. If you guys are on YouTube, you guys on Facebook, whichever platform, it doesn't matter. I'm letting you guys know. If you guys do not want to know what's going to happen at NXT's Great American Bash next week, please tune out. I advise you, don't go on any blogs, don't go on any wrestling chats or anything if you don't want to find out, because more than likely somebody's going to post this information. I found out this information online from one of my sources. But I'm telling you guys right now, this is major news. Okay, so this is what the news is. It's been reported from a wrestler, okay, who was actually at NXT's Great American Bash at the taping of Great American Bash, the second taping, that Keith Lee actually goes over on Adam Cole. I repeat, Keith Lee goes over on Adam Cole. There's actually a picture that he tweeted. So he tweets the picture, he makes a tweet, he forms a tweet, he posts the tweet, he puts the tweet up, and he took it down. He deleted it, of course. He had to delete it. I'm quite sure if anybody from WWE, William Regal, Triple H, they found this information, they probably, told this guy to delete it. But he posted this information up. He posted this picture of Keith Lee celebrating with the NXT World Heavyweight title and the NXT North American title with the confetti and everything. He posted up the end of Great American Bash, and Keith Lee becomes the first dual champion in NXT history. Right? So I found this article online. There's actually an image of Keith Lee winning the match. I can't pronounce this guy's name. Saray Gorjar. I think that's his name. And hopefully I pronounced it properly. But he tweeted this image. I'm sorry, he didn't. I'm sorry, it wasn't tweeted. It was posted on Instagram, on his Instagram story feed, and he deleted it. If you guys know about Instagram story feeds, they're briefly shown. And They show up for a brief moment and then they, go away. I don't know how long they stay up. I haven't been like abreast on like Instagram feeds or whatever. But anyways, that is the spoiler alert for Great American Bash. That is crazy. Keith Lee becomes the dual champion in NXT. And the crazy thing about that is usually when these champions have these tremendous runs or they do something really great, right? And sometimes WWE does not want these champions to look too dominant. Usually like their dominance comes like when they're like in the middle of their reign or like like in the beginning. But whenever they get to like this dominant, like for instance, like I think about New Day, right? When New Day had their tag team title reign and they were on the verge of breaking the Legion of Doom's tag team title run. I'm sorry, the Demolition's tag team title run. And when they were on the verge of breaking that record, it's so weird. It's like they talked about it, they spoke about it, and I think they exceeded maybe like 2 days or 3 days over, right? The Legion of Doom's legendary title reign. And then what happened was they lost the titles, right? For maybe like I think it was to the OC, I believe, or whoever. I think the Usos, forget who it was. But anyway, they lose the titles. They lose the titles for about they were without the titles for like maybe like a month, and then they get the titles right back. Like it was just very weird. And they actually held on to the titles for like maybe like 3-4 more months, and then they wound up relinquishing. Giving the titles to someone else, losing the titles to someone else. But it was crazy, man. Like it's like whenever these like even Undertaker, right? When the streak was mentioned, I believe like the streak has been like slightly mentioned throughout over the years, but then it was just like when the streak started getting really, really hot and started picking up a lot of steam, that's when WWE was like, all right, we got to end this thing. And it's so weird. It's like whenever these wrestlers hit these streaks or they hit these strides or they, hit these pinnacles, that's when the WWE says, all right, we got to end it. Like they just stop it. Even with John Cena time with Flair, it's very interesting. It's very interesting how, which and for all of us, wrestling fans, we know that John Cena will never tie with Flair. Realistically, like, because Flair really has about 22 title reigns, and it's really about six of his title reigns that are not accounted for. They don't count them. They don't count them. I don't know why WWE doesn't count them in. There's some stupid reason why, but they were legitimate title reigns, legitimate title victories. But anywho's. So you guys are joining me. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about this news and this rumor concerning Keith Lee winning the NXT Heavyweight Championship and having the North American Championship. Guys, let me know, what are your thoughts? I want to hear from you because this is major news. And it's interesting. A lot of times when these wrestlers hit these strides, Undertaker hit a stride in that streak, they ended the streak. It's very interesting. They ended that streak when he hit that stride. Who else? New Day, when they hit that stride of, having that long, lengthy tag team title reign. It was like when they got close to the Demolition's record, a few days after them breaking the record, and they could have went longer. They lose the titles. WWE decides to have them lose the titles, and then they wind up regaining the titles back again, and then whatever, right? Same thing with Undertaker's streak. They ended the streak. Same thing with Asuka. Asuka goes undefeated in NXT, has a tremendous career in NXT, going over, reigning as the women's undefeated champion in NXT. She goes up to the main roster. She remains undefeated up until WrestleMania. Even in the Royal Rumble, she remained undefeated. and they kept speaking about her streak. And it's so funny because the more they spoke about the streak, I think that those are warning signs for us to let us know it's a it's coming to an end. It's a sign of the end. And I think that them talking about how long Adam Cole had the NXT World Heavyweight title was a warning that eventually this was going to come to an end. And it's so funny because I didn't, that didn't pop into my head. But every time they talk about these lengthy reigns or these streaks, this is when these great contenders come to an end of their streak. You guys are joining me. Please drop some comments below. I want to talk to you guys. I want to know, what do you guys think about this news, about this tweet? Now, you know what's funny? The funny thing is right? Supposedly, right? Now, I mean, like, okay, bro. So this tweet was sent out. I'm sorry, this Instagram post was posted out, right? About Keith Lee winning both titles, right? Being a dual champion. Now, so say WWE finds out about this information being exposed and they decide to overturn the decision and tape another finish for this match. That'd be crazy. That'd be some crazy stuff, right? That'd be crazy. Would they do something like that? I don't know. Interesting. All right. More news and rumors. Okay. Moving forward. You know what? Before we move forward, right? I think I'm gonna show you guys the images, well, the image that I got, because there's only one image, and the wrestler actually posted up the image. So I'm going to get you right now. I'm gonna get you right. I'm gonna show you guys the image real quick. So this is the actual image of Keith Lee celebrating with the dual championships, being a dual champion. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's pretty small, but there are wrestling websites that are news websites that are more than likely posting this image, because if I got it, somebody else has it. And I found this online. So, you know, so I'm quite sure you guys probably know about it, but I want to know what you guys think about this. Post up, let me know. Let me hear from you guys. All right. But this is interesting, man. Keith Lee actually becomes the dual champion. And I wonder what's going to happen after this, because this news is pretty spicy. Interesting. In other news, we have EC3 releases a promo teasing his AEW debut. Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about this. So we got EC3, another excellent talent who came from TNA. I believe he was in WWE some years ago. I believe he actually was in WWE development. He didn't get picked up to be called to the main roster. He goes over to TNA. He is actually Dixie Carter's nephew, or I think he plays Dixie Carter's nephew. I'm not sure which one is the two. He goes over to TNA. He's working TNA. He builds his character up to a status to where he is a formidable heel. He cuts excellent promos, has these great matches, becomes a great conversation. EC3 becomes a indie darling. He gets called over to NXT. He gets brought over to NXT. He wrestles in NXT. He has his great matches. EC3 cuts his great promos. He gets called up to the main roster. Let's talk about this. And again, he is another talent that is wasted by WWE. You know, EC3 cut like one promo. And then it was just like you never heard from him again. You didn't hear too much from him. But again, EC3 is another superstar who was brought in by WWE to enhance the product, wasn't used properly to enhance the product, and he's let go. As it's reported on Wrestling Inc., former WWE star EC3 took to Twitter about 2 nights ago and released a new promo teasing a potential debut in All Elite Wrestling. Twitter is and he says, I'm sorry, this is what EC3 says. Twitter is a sewer. I'll put this content on here later, but for now it's here. I'm sure algorithms will treat this post fair. Control your narrative. Free EC3. EC3 wrote alongside the video. So maybe EC3 is probably still under contract because he put free EC3 because maybe he's probably still under contract with WWE under the non-compete clause, because what they do is whenever wrestlers are released, they have them under this 30-day, 60-day, 70-day, 90-day, however long they have a non-compete clause on their contract. They have them under this non-compete clause, and then they have to wait a month, 2 months, 3 months, sometimes a year, depending upon how long the clause is, and they won't be able to wrestle. EC3 is now going to AEW. This is going to be interesting. What's and a good thing about, one thing I do appreciate about the AEW brand is that we're going to have a lot of unappreciated wrestlers who are leaving WWE and coming over to AEW to help build the brand. I want to hear from you guys. I want you guys to tell me what you think about EC3 going over to AEW. How do you guys feel about EC3 going over to AEW? Do you think that it is a good fit for him? What do you guys think? I want to hear from you guys. You guys catching the replay? I want you guys to respond in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. Interesting, man. Very interesting. EC3 goes over to AEW. And I think he's going to be used very well. You know who reminds me of EC3? This is a guy on there who has like this scarf and with the little Burberry scarf, MJF. I think that's his name, or whatever his name is. He reminds me of EC3, when EC3 was cutting his promos in Impact Wrestling, how EC3's character was in Impact Wrestling. That's who MJF reminds me of, EC3. So like EC3. But it's going to be pretty dope. I'm really interested in finding out how they're going to use these guys in Impact. I see that they're using Brody Lee pretty well. They're using Moxley really well. But they're still developing their brand, they're developing their placement, and they're still figuring out what they're doing with their product. And they're trying to just give quality product more so than create these franchise, then create like a franchise character who just represents the brand by itself. Like a John Cena or Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold Steve Austin or Rock or whatever, and these guys will lead the whole brand. But they definitely do need that star power quality in order to help push the brand to the next level. But I'm very interested into finding out what they're going to do with EC3 and how EC3 is going to work out in AEW. I would have liked for Heath Slater and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson that had gone over to AEW. I feel like AEW is a better fit for them rather than Impact. But maybe Impact gave them a better contract and gave them a better offer, which is probably why they're in Impact. But hopefully they can compete at AEW and somehow compete in some form of fashion, because that'll be dope. But I'd like to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys think about EC3 going over to AEW. In other news, we have WWE announces a title match and interview for SmackDown. So the title match is it's no big mystery. It's Drew Gulak versus AJ Styles for a title match, and they're going to give an interview to Matt Riddle in the ring on SmackDown. So this is what's happening. So they're going to interview Matt Riddle. I don't know what the interview is for. I don't know what it's about, but hopefully the interview is for a potential match with him and somebody, big. Hopefully they nix that whole Matt Riddle and Baron Corbin feud. I don't want to see Matt Riddle and Corbin mix it up. I'm really not interested in Corbin at all. He cut a great promo against The Undertaker. I tell you that. That was the best promo I heard Baron Corbin cut. And like never. But but he never really I've never really heard him cut any great promos. But anyways, moving forward, Drew Gulak is going to fight AJ Styles in the IC title match, which is going to be, I believe, is going to be pretty good. It's going to be interesting. Drew Gulak, the man with no knee pads. Drew Gulak, get some knee pads. You look weird. You look creepy without no daggone knee pads. You remind me of the old Cesaro. I hate it when Cesaro used to come out with that outfit and no damn knee pads. Wear knee pads, man. Wear knee pads. Freaking knee pads. But they look weird. Wrestlers look weird when they don't wear certain things, man. It just looks odd, man. It just looks weird, man. He looks like one of those wrestlers from remember the Vaudevillains? They had that, 1830s or 1920s kind of, look, whatever, man. But that classic wrestling jobbers look, that's the kind of look that Drew Gulak has, and it's kind of annoying without the knee pads. But anyways, that's the major news for SmackDown. They're supposed to be announcing this title match in an interview for SmackDown. The interviews with Matt Riddle. The title match is AJ Styles versus Drew Gulak for the IC title. I would have preferred to see Matt Riddle fight AJ Styles for the title, but a Drew Gulak match and an AJ Styles match, I'll take. I think it's going to be a great match. More news. More news. So me and Jay McMahon, we spoke about this last episode. We spoke about this 2 episodes ago. Whatever. The episode we did about the last SmackDown episode we did, where they give a tribute to The Undertaker. We talked about Undertaker and Sting, and about how Sting and Undertaker never fought that match, how Sting's career in the WWE was poorly handled. So it just so happens that our man Sting, the Stinger, posted on, I believe he posted on Twitter, an image of him on the chopper. Get to the chopper. My Schwarzenegger voice. Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. He was on a chopper. He was on a motorcycle. Motorcycle. Sting fuels speculation on WWE ring return. WWE Hall of Famer Sting has fans speculating on his in-ring future after comments he made on social media the other night. The Stinger took to Twitter that night and responded to a throwback photo showing him on a motorcycle. He asked fans who wants to take a last ride with him, meaning Sting. Who wants to take a last ride with Sting, he wrote. Undertaker just released a documentary called The Last Ride. Well, WWE released a documentary called The Last Ride, and it's a culmination of footage that deals with the Undertaker's WWE career. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch the whole thing tonight. I'm going to try to get through the whole thing. But I watched the fourth video. Anyways, the documentary is called The Last Ride. And Sting posts on Twitter and says, who wants to take a last ride with Sting? Yeah, man, for the culture, Sting, for the culture. We talked about this, that Sting and Undertaker have never had this match. I want to see this match. You want to see this match. We want to see this match. The wrestling universe wants to see this match. If you are tuning in right now, if you're catching a replay or you are catching me live, I want to hear from you. I want to know what you think about Sting possibly having a match with The Undertaker. Can you imagine The Undertaker catching Sting in a tombstone? Can you imagine Sting catching The Undertaker in a scorpion death drop? Can you imagine The Undertaker catching Sting in the gates of hell? Can you imagine Sting catching or applying the scorpion deathlock to The Undertaker in a match at WrestleMania? Chills, man. Chills. Want to hear from you guys. Want to know what you guys think about this match possibly taking place. Sting possibly versus The Undertaker. I think that this is what Sting is teasing. Who wants to see The Undertaker? Who wants to see Sting take a last ride? And they called the documentary Undertaker's Last Ride. But, The Undertaker talked about in the documentary that his match against AJ Styles was a good note to leave off on. If you ask me, my opinion about Undertaker retiring, I think when Undertaker got a streak broken by Brock, he should have left if he's going to retire. And then they should have set up a match with him and Sting early on for him to come back, fight Sting. But, again, that's just my opinion. But I still don't have any regrets or have any disdain or any dislikes towards his matches after Brock Lesnar. Like, I thought his matches was pretty good. I think the match against him and John Cena was pretty good. I liked it. I liked his match against Roman. I liked his match against Bray Wyatt. Even though I felt like Bray Wyatt should have got the win, I feel like Roman should have got the loss. Roman should have lost, but Bray should have won because Bray could have stamped that moniker of the new face of fear, and he could have carried that over as a big name as a performer. I think that Bray should have won that match, and because Undertaker's on his way out, Bray is on his way up. So what better way than solidify him with a character that he kind of not necessarily patterned his character after, but has some level of similarities to. And if the Undertaker would have given him that rub, it would have done very well for him as a wrestler. But yeah, I think that Undertaker's career and his matches that he wrestled after Brock did very well. I think they were pretty good. I enjoyed them for the most part, but they were pretty good. Yeah, there's nothing bad about his matches. I don't think he had any bad matches after Brock. I feel like the beginning of his best matches at WrestleMania was with Triple H. His first great WrestleMania match was with Triple H. His first best match was with Triple H. I feel like all three of his matches with Triple H was really good. My favorites are the first two, and the third one I felt like was the Hell in a Cell match. I thought I gotta watch it again because everything happened so fast. But it was just like as soon as the match started, I think he got like sweet chin music and then a pedigree, and then they try to DX him out of the match. DX him, I mean, do the whole click thing to him and try to get him out early, and Taker wasn't having it. And was able to emerge victorious in that whole fiasco. But it was a great match, in my opinion. Um, yeah, yeah. Uh, but what do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think about Sting possibly going one-on-one with Taker. I want to know what you guys think. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys think. It's very interesting. 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 So, um, there was some news going on in TNA that they were teasing some big returns and some big welcomes to TNA wrestling. And I don't know if Lou Gallows or Carl Anderson wrestled for them before. I'm not sure which one of them did, but the big return. Well, let me just go down the line real quick about who's supposed to be returning Slammiversary or whatever, July 13th. We have Heath Slater, we have Carl Anderson, we have Luke Gallows, and we have the Eric Young, who is supposed to be the world heavyweight champion that's returning to Impact Wrestling. So they were happy to have him back. Eric Young, as we know, led the faction Sanity in NXT. They were called up to the main roster in SmackDown. Again, great talent, poorly used. You know, I think they wrestled like maybe, I don't know, a handful of matches on SmackDown Live, like just a handful of matches, not too many matches, just a handful. And then from there, it was like they didn't really do much with the character. I could have seen Sanity doing a whole lot more. Vince McMahon apparently didn't like him. WWE development apparently didn't like him, didn't care too much for him. So their characters didn't go too far, unfortunately. But it's reported that Eric Young is going to be in his superhero costume. Impact teases Eric Young's return. The speculation of EY, a former Impact World Heavyweight Champion, returning to Impact, picked up this week when his former Super Eric superhero costume was shown at the end of the show. So he's not going to come back with a serious gimmick as he was before, where that gimmick won him the World Heavyweight Championship. In my opinion, was like this, Daniel Bryan ripoff character. But he's going to be returning. He's going to be returning with the superhero gimmick, and he's going to be returning with the superhero gimmick. What the heck? Yeah, he's going to be returning with the superhero gimmick, and this is not a serious character. That's like how he had before, where he won the world heavyweight title. So I don't know why they're going to do this. This is not going to make any sense to me. But in TNA, maybe it will make sense to them having Eric Young as the superhero. You guys are joining me. Once again, you guys are joining me. Let me know what you guys think about Eric Young returning back home to Impact, a place where he's more appreciated, I would say. It would have been cool. I think it would be dope if he actually returned with Sanity. That would be dope. Because that was a good character. And the fact that he was able to come up with a great character, I thought that was pretty dope. They didn't use him well. They should have, but they didn't use him well. So WWE NXT after match review. So I didn't watch AEW. Didn't get around to watching AEW. Didn't watch Fighter Fest. They were competing. AEW, NXT were fighting. We're competing for the attention of us wrestling fans, trying to get us to tune in. So if you guys had watched Fighter Fest, please let me know what you thought about Fighter Fest. Didn't watch it, didn't catch it. I may check it out. Wasn't too excited about the lineup and who they had fighting. I believe that the Brian Cage and Dean Ambrose match was canceled because of Dean Ambrose testing positive for COVID-19. So if he's testing positive for COVID-19, that's not a good thing. I don't know if he was actually going to drop the strap anyway, but crazy. Anyway, let's get to it, right? So NXT Great American Bash. How do I grade the event? How do I grade the event? I grade the event I give it like a 3.5. Thought it was pretty good. First match you had was the number one contenders fatal 4-way elimination match: Tegan Knox versus Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, and Candice LeRae. That was a pretty decent match. With Tegan Knox going over as the winner. Tegan Knox, right? Timothy Thatcher versus Oni Lorcan. Hopefully I pronounced it right. You had the 2-on-1 handicap match, Rhea Ripley versus Aaliyah and Robert Stone. Rhea Ripley going over as the victor, her making both of them tap out at the same time. This man getting beat up by a woman, this is crazy, it's ridiculous. But she's a wrestler, he's not, he's a manager. Strap match, Roderick Strong versus Dexter Lumis. That was a pretty good match. I thought that was pretty good. I thought it was funny. Dexter, was it Roderick Strong running around the ring from Dexter Lumis trying to escape, and then Dexter Lumis catching him with the sort of like, kind of like sleeper hold, making him tap. Thought it was pretty dope. Sasha Banks with Bayley versus NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai. Io Shirai goes over as the winner with some help from Asuka because of interference from Bayley. Bayley on the outside gave a little bit of interference, and it caused them to, Bayley tried to help Sasha from the outside. That interference caused Asuka to help Io Shirai. Asuka spit the green mist in Sasha Banks' face. Io Shirai was able to catch her, I think, with she tried to roll up for a pin. She kicked out, and then she caught up with like an uppercut, and then like a moonsault, and then she won the match or something like that. Yeah, that was it. Pretty much, that was it. That was it for the pay-per-view. But it was a pretty good pay-per-view so far. But we all know what we really want to see, and what we really want to see is this winners take all match. I already know the results. I'm telling you guys, I would have been happier if it was Finn. I'm quite sure me repeating myself about Finn Balor is kind of annoying, but I would have wanted Finn to be the victor in this match. I thought he would have been a better victor, in my opinion. I think he earned it, as far as just the work he put in and what he's done for the culture of wrestling, the impact he's had so far, and he's had such a lasting impact, and he's supposed to be on his first win, not his second win, and not win as in W-I-N, but wind, I mean W-I-N-D, win like his second, thrust again, like his second reinvention of. He's supposed to be on his first his first, big run, because there's wrestlers who have their first win. Like Undertaker had like his first win, where he came in as the Phenom. He beat, Hulk Hogan for the World Championship. And then I think it was like a week later, he loses the belt. And then it would be like 6 years later or seven. It's like 6 years later he would win another world championship at WrestleMania against Psycho Sid, and then again he would win another title against Austin, and then again he would win another world championship against forget, I think was it CM Punk or was it Edge that he won it from first? I'm not sure. But anyway, his first big win was when he came in. His second win was when he won the championship. But a lot of people kind of crapped on that title reign because at the time WWE was not being heavily viewed. They had a viewership problem. Their ratings were really low. They were really suffering really bad. They were almost out of business because they weren't pulling in enough clientele and fans from the culture. And that's when you had Austin, and that's when you had NWO, because it wasn't just Austin. It was it had a lot to do with NWO and the whole Monday Night Wars that really helped reinvigorate wrestling, bring that new life into wrestling again. That was dope. These Wednesday Night Wars, I don't know if it's gonna ever live up to that. But let's keep going. Keep going forward. But yeah, Undertaker's third win was definitely with the streak. That's when I felt like Undertaker got like his third win, like where he got that third thrust, that third, kind of burst of popularity again, because when, a lot of times, like most of the time through Undertaker's streak, he really wasn't, in my opinion, he was always a popular character. He was like a character that you would go see that was part of the show, but there was always other stars that kind of like, was always the ones that stood out a lot more. But he was one of the big ones that did stand out. But he was never, they tried to make him the guy before, but it didn't fit for him. He's like a Randy Orton, like a Jericho. Great, phenomenal athlete. Great, will carry or have held world heavyweight gold, but won't be considered as like that guy. There were guys like this is the guy, but Taker was not that guy. But one of the best. Anywho's, that's just my Taker rant. But again, NXT after match review. NXT, I thought the match. I thought again the pay per view. I think the I'm sorry, the pay per view. Was this like a pay per view? Was like a free pay per view? I don't know. This event. I thought was pretty good. But I've already spoiled the results for you guys for what's going to happen next week. If you're tuning in now or you catch the end of this live and you don't want to know what's going to happen for the winner takes all match, Keith Lee versus Adam Cole, do yourself a favor, stay off the internet for a week. Don't go on any wrestling sites that's reporting news about don't go on any wrestling websites. Don't go on Wrestling Inc. Don't go on Wrestling Observer. Don't go on any major wrestling sites that reports news, and stay off the internet. Stay off all the major YouTube and podcasts, and just be completely deaf to it. You got to, because this is a spoiler alert. For me, I was very excited about the outcome. But if you guys do not want to know what happens at American Bash next week, then do not, I repeat, do not go to the beginning of this video. And I think I probably just gave the results away. I don't know, whatever. But that's it for today. That's it for wrestling talks and thoughts. I want to hear from you guys. I want you guys to comment in the comment section. If you guys are on YouTube, you're catching a replay. If you are on Facebook and you are tuning in or you're catching a replay, I want to hear from you. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up. Hit me up. I'll add you to the group. I'll add you to the page, Wrestling Talks and Thoughts, so you can get our weekly lives and discuss wrestling with us. We want to hear from the fans. We want to hear from the WWE universe, AEW universe, Impact universe. We want to know what you guys think about these matches, these pay-per-views. We want to talk wrestling with you guys. Um, we want to hear from you guys. All right. So you guys are catching the replay. Comment in the comment section below. Hit subscribe if you're on YouTube so that you can get our weekly videos. You'll know when we go live, and we want to talk to you. All right, guys. So I am your host, Saheem, the Dream. And this was another episode of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I will see you guys Saturday where we will review news and rumors concerning the wrestling world. And also, we will be reviewing SmackDown and any high points. But we want to hear from you guys. We want to talk with you guys. I want to talk with you guys. Want to know what your thoughts are. Hit us up. All right? Later, guys.